You know, people look at some of us and they are wondering, how come you are making this kind of impact? They don't know. We learned some things. I literally, by the Spirit, anybody I'm led to, I pull virtue out of them, whether they like it or not. We have a father in our nation called Reverend Dr. Ukpai. He just passed on to glory at 80. There was a time he came for a crusade in my state. And I heard about the man. This is a man that says whatever he wants. Even when he speaks casually, it happens. He said he went somewhere to preach. And they said the native doctors ganged up that he will not leave the land. Native doctors. You know, some of us think ministry now is internet. Go and ask the fathers who had real power. If they are entering cities, sometimes they have a meeting in a demonic coven because they know there will be problem if they talk in that land. And when the guy came and they told him, he said, really, where do they live? They said they live in the forest. He now said, fire should start burning in all the forests and not stop. Ask me how that makes sense. And this was rainy season. You know, when he talk, people start laughing. Oh God, what are you saying? He said, let fire begin to burn. From the first night of the crusade, they said fire burnt in the village for more than 14 days. The native doctors, some of them had to come and surrender their charms. We have never seen anything like this. These were the stories we heard about the man. He said there was a time hired assassins kidnapped him. And when they took him, they said they won't kill him with gun. So they gave him poison. They poisoned some before him and gave him to drink. He now told the people, you don't want to release me? Okay, we will stay here. He carried the poison and said, Father, in the name of Jesus, I command it to turn to tea. And he drank. And he sat down and nothing happened. They checked time. The man was there. They checked time. When nothing happened after a while, the people with guns came and started begging him, please don't kill us. He said, no. I said, we will stay here. You say you won't let me go. All of us will be here. Such were the feet. If that man comes for a meeting, he doesn't say, Lord, please touch people. No. He gives number. I was in one meeting and he stood in a crusade and he said 400 people will go down now. First of all, I was asking, what do you mean 400? Does the Lord touch people like that? And people were dropping like mango fruits in my eyes. They were dropping as if something was hitting them down. And he said they are not just falling. Everybody who has fallen, a gift has been activated. And people fell and fell. The place was littered with men. And he made a statement. He said, the reason I give number is because if I don't, the service won't end. The Lord will touch everybody that is present. Do you imagine that level of audacity? The same man now came to preach in my city. There were more than 50 protocols and bouncers. I looked at them and said, you people are not serious. You think this man will leave this land without dropping what he carries? You are joking. When he finished preaching and he was about leaving, and it's by revelation, I'm not saying get out of control. When he finished and he was about leaving, more than 30 hefty men, I broke through them and grabbed the man. And I made a demand on the grace on his life. I said, what you carry, I receive. He looked at me, he shook his head, and he touched me and left. From that day, sir, if I can wake up and say, Lord, touch people. Lord, touch people. It's like something is pulling them down. Because I know that there are things that I don't need to read books for 10 years to have. If it's present, let me take it and read for the purpose of knowledge. But for that thing, I already have it. There are people who are saying, me too, I will fast. Me too, I will pray my own. You will get some things at 60. You will get some things at 70. Now, pray and fast to pass through that process. But what if you have it at 25? What if you have it at 30? It means you will make more impact. This is why impartations are important. Imagine if God said, I will train Joshua to become like Moses before he lead Israel. How many years will it take? Moses was in the wilderness for 40 years. Just learning. So Israel will be in a lacuna for 40 years because Joshua is learning. You think about it. See, tonight, something will fall on your life. Impartations are too critical in kingdom context.